Good morning, everyone. I'm Dave White. Thank you for joining us again today. We want to welcome, of course, Suzanne Tick. Good morning, Suzanne.
Morning, Dave.
And Suzanne, this morning we're here to talk some more about, in the continuing TikTok series, we're going to talk about transitioning and transcending this morning, right?
Yeah, we're going to take you on a little journey.
I think we'd all like to go on a little journey right now. A journey to anywhere, but this sounds like better than just anywhere. This sounds like a better go-to place.
Well, I think it's a discussion that I know that what we talk a lot about stuff in our studio about how we develop products and how textile designers, we transform fibers to fabric, and then fabric into patterns, and then patterns into color, and so that's all part of transitioning from one material to the next, and then and then how do you go beyond that, really? I mean, that's kind of one of the discussions that we have. But in the practice, the daily practice that we have in our studio, we as individuals have transitioned from being a small child to early age into middle age, for instance, like this. So there I am with my brother, and it's all a continuum, right? So no, we make this parallel of how we go from one stage to the next with our practice, but we also know that our lifeline has been from birth to to when we drop our body, I guess is the best way to put it. But and what does that mean in between all of that, what happens? And so we're a strong believer that in this that meditation allows us to unstress, so that we can actually make that transitioning point at end of life, or the transcending point, while we're moving through our lives in a more peaceful way. So I'm going to show you, to get me off of there now, I'm going to show you in context of so this is me meditating and stuff like that. And actually in meditation, you can actually go to a place of transcending, and that's a really, really important place to go to. So and that's what we try to do every time we meditate. This is a little gift that goes back and forth, is to go to that deepest part of where we are, and where it allows us to find that place of being and who we are. But let's go to the next slide, and we can talk really quickly about how we develop our materials. And this fiber that we developed with, started with this construction, was the first biodegradable product in the marketplace. And then we transitioned that fiber into color. And from color, these little chips are what we use to match to, and then we take that fiber after we've matched the yarns, and then we transition that into pattern. So Grid State is, we just launched, it is again one of our, the first biodegradable products in the marketplace. It's a really great store if you want to hear from our reps. It's fantastic, really well priced, and it's also, it can be a transitional product in that it can be used as upholstery and as a screening or panel and walls. So the parallels that I would make with these multi-purpose products, and this kind of being so adaptable for so many different product categories, is the same thing that you get from your meditation practice. One of the first things you're taught in this technique is that your adaptation energy just really starts clicking in, and Your relevance to the need of the time is really gets kind of more in focus. And so you're able to adapt much more freely to anything that comes your way. And as product designers and interior designers and things, we always know that things happen, and you know, maybe the color isn't as dark as we'd like, so we go back for another try, and you know, we keep going back, and we continue to validate and verify things. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. You know, this is a yarn dyed product, so it's the fibers are dyed individually, and then they're woven in this pattern. Our next product that we wanted to talk about was cross grain, and cross grain is a piece dye, and that, you know, starts out as a solid piece of fabric that we've woven, that gets woven. It's called Grace goods, and so there's a lot of transitioning when it comes to piece dyes. So we start, I think a number of you know that we use architectural architecture as a real inspiration point for our products. And so we usually do little graphs, weave drafts and stuff like that when we're going to go through a whole series of product development cycles with piece dyes. And we weave a number of qualities, and then from those qualities we dye them. So on the left-hand side, you can see this is a cross dye, and so it's two different colors. And so what we're trying to do is do a darker tone and a lighter tone. And there's a little bit of a tint that happens in the lighter tone of the cross section of the product. So it's usually a cat and disperse dye. And you're leading the way with the darker color, but you know it's going to tint the lighter part of the polyester as well. And then, you know, the other things that, you know, from transitioning from fiber to woven product to now dyed product is how it incorporates into our collection. And what we're really doing here is we are looking at our collections all the time and looking at how our new colorways fold into our existing line. So that we're constantly creating collections that work together, that transcend what's already exists in our collection, and allows you as interior designers to pull and select products in a lot of different kind of color values and hues that work for your projects. So we're trying not to duplicate colors, but we're trying to continuously add to our collection, so you have a lot of products to pull from, and that we have a lot of collaboration with all of our products within the same collection. And this is how you know, we would work with both the cross dye and the yarn dye product, and we pair these products together and see that our products are working together. And that's really, really what we do with every one of our collections. And we go back and look at our past collections to make sure that they can be added on, and you have this whole additive process, so that there's no kind of frustration with, oh, there's nothing that works with this product. I really want to have a solid texture at this price point. I would love to have a brand builder, you know, large scale pattern that could work with both of these. And we do all of that in advance when we're launching our collections. And this collection actually was called Collective Conscious, which is great. I mean, you can see we've got drapery here. So we kind of think about the entire interior and how it could all work together and play together. So we have a really beautiful drapery that's a two-tone drapery that has wool on one side and polyester on the other. It's very, very elegant. That can coordinate with our scale factor, which is one of our new embroidered products, which has a pocket in it. It's a beautiful, very, very textured product, and it really shows how products play a role in the transformation of a collection, and how each product you know, pushes one, you know, pushes it towards kind of light contract, more softer contract, and other products can take it to more performance driven applications and things like that. So we try to do a mix of all of that. And that allows, you know, one to connect with the abundance of the collection. Right now down in our studio, we're doing a whole layout of, you know, a color wall, and how we've gotten over 900 fabrics since we started the loom line on our bulletin board there on our pinup wall, and it really shows the abundance of what life has to offer. And you know, that's kind of how we feel about our collection, that it is like this abundance of like this abundance of garlands that one kind of comes into when you're in India, where there's just an abundance of garlands. You walk into a room that's filled with chains of garlands and the smell of it. And that's what we're looking for. We're not only looking for that in our products, but we're looking for that in our life. You know, we don't want to be in that, you know, that kind of small self, that kind of, you know, shrink down to our small self. We want to stay in that abundant self to make sure that we're staying in and working with our creative intelligence all the time. And we are filled with abundance, all of us, creative intelligence, and that's the primary place that we want to spend our time together in. So that is the talk for today. I didn't know do we take questions in this, or is this a write-in thing, or remind me?
There is a chat. It is a chat. I don't see any questions right now.
Okay. All right. So if there's any questions, please, no, all questions are good. It's a good thing to do is ask questions if there are any. If not, and just let us know if these are helpful, these talks are helpful for you, whether there's topics you'd like us to talk about. You know, we kind of keep track of where we're going and the different parts of where we are with our product planning and stuff like that. So we're here to help show you our collection and talk about how it coincides with kind of our larger picture of life in terms of self-care and health and stuff like that as well. A good balance of design and self-care is what we're going after here.
There we go. That is a good balance.
That's what we're trying for. So,
okay.
All right.
Well, I don't see any questions, Suzanne. So thank you very much for this morning. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Dave. We'll see you soon. Okay.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.